He just has such extreme disjoints and has such control of the stage that as long as you're really, really careful with the way you throw those disjoints out, you can kind of box Raster out where no other character really has the range to do that.
See, that's funny because I literally watched the set where MSB went Sylvanos in this set, listening to Giga behind me going, yeah, MSB came up to me about this matchup, seeing what I should do with it because he thinks Sylvanos does well in it. And I said, yeah, well, you can do this and this, but you're still going to lose. So Giga, not the biggest confidence boost for his own chances here. But we'll see.
He hasn't usually, and he never really has like the super positive attitude about his characters, and yet he does so good in spite of it. So I'm really interested to see how he adapts to the Kusi Raster, the Cake Slayer, as it were.
I mean, as Cake's father, I would prefer to see this go a little bit more Cake's favor, but we'll see.
Don't worry, I'm his number 3 fan. I understand because it's Cake himself, then you, then me.
Correct. No bias though. No bias though. Kusi off to a very strong start so far, and then kind of what you'd expect, right? You know, one hit goes a long way for Raster and against most characters, and then you have a character that's with a hurt box the size of that, and that up strong look like it was in a different time zone, but it still hit and killed. So we'll see how this goes for our dear friend Giga here.
Yeah, I mentioned that Sylvanos can fare pretty well in the neutral as long as he's really careful about how he does stuff. But he's still a heavy. You know, if the Raster gets in on you, you're huge. You're going to get hit. Correct. That's just how it goes. Oof. Oh, that was so close. Bit of a misinput there, too, I think, but luckily not punished too hard. Except for right there.
Yep, correct. And not punished too hard except for exactly when it was punished very hard.
They just like making liars out of those commentators, I swear.
This is it's tough.
It's getting out of hand.
I like the fact that Giga's made it this far, right? He's a hell of a player, but this just seems very difficult.
It is.
I was going to say, if that's not a kill, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like, you know, Sylph players will always talk about, like, Sylph does not have the greatest of kill powers, which is certainly true. Against a character like Raster, that problem kind of disappears, which is nice.
It's mitigated a little bit for sure.
Yeah, like that's when you're like, oh, I can actually like fish for these up airs and definitely kill him at like 80 to 100 as long as I have the right positioning. That was very nice. I love that little tech chase with the bite.
Ooh. And that's kind of the tricky part right there, right? You see them dive off stage to get that low back air and puts themselves in a little bit of a frustrating situation, but still holding on to this last stock.
Great DI, just barely living there. Making it back on.
Kind of fainted him out there, but it was cross stage, so really just kind of reset neutral there.
Yeah, I think that was valuable information too, because he went for it and you saw Kusi parried. So that actually could come into play in a very meaningful way later. But it's going to have to be another game because Kusi taking that one pretty quickly. Just combo game super on point.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one of those things where like you see the level that Kusi has taken his Raster to, and it is just impressive stuff.
Yes.
I mean, just really, really phenomenal play. I'm curious to see. I assume we'd probably go to one of the bigger stages. We see FD get banned. We see, there goes Fire Capital as well. And yeah, almost immediately the Forest Floor. We were talking earlier about this, right?
Yeah.
Sylvanos with Forest Floor and Treetop are kind of the two main spots, right?
Absolutely. And I think in this case, Treetop is a pretty notoriously good stage for Raster also. So that's one of the ones you might like second guess, you know?
I would be a little bit worried about the off-the-top game here for Raster, but I mean, it's just one of those things where that could happen against really any stage, to be honest with you.
Absolutely, yeah. I kind of like the stage because it's less so going to be about because Kusi hasn't really been like camping him out too hard or anything. He's kind of right there in his face waiting for the whiff. Ooh. Oh man. So I think I really just like the plat layout for Giga and what he's going to be able to do off of it.
There's that parry again off of that parry, but still going to get that stock first. Nice forward clap there.
He's like a heat-seeking missile. He just finds him.
Ooh, nice DI. Any other player is going to die there, but cleans it up pretty quickly there with the up air. I'd like to see it Giga playing very, very cleanly here in the second game and already at a pretty good stock chunk here as well.
I think that his combo routes are really interesting, and the way that he tries to open up with like these side Bs in is interesting. But I get really scared every time he goes for it by walking off the side of the stage.
Correct.
Because if Kusi catches that, that's going to be rough.
And back-to-back berry bites there, you know. Looking good so far.
Yeah. I
might have to eat my words, Donos, I'm not sure.
It was a really great stock for sure, and you kind of saw what I was talking about there, where it's like Sylvanos, he has the range where as long as he's getting the first hit, his advantage is really impressive, even on a character like Raster. So, not hitting the sweet spot. Very, very scary stuff. Going for the dare spike again. He's chasing off in such a smart way because he knows he's going to make it back first every single time. And sending Sylvan to that bottom corner there is very important.
Yeah, it's literally the only spot you want Sylvan to be off stage.
Exactly.
If they're high, they have so many more mix-ups, so many more options. And now back on stage at 175. See what the options are here. Nice up.
Oh,
that was cute.
That was extremely adorable, I have to say.
191.
Yeah, there it
gonna
is.
do it. They're at 200. Makes sense.
This is when you should be really scared if you're Giga, though, because you're in the raster zone right now. 0% to like 80%. Oh boy, that's what happens. Went for I guess the DI out mix-up. He was probably trying to get him to expect like another fair or something.
A little cheeky here.
Oh, it's terrifying. It just never stops, and he waits for the landing, gets him off stage again. What a clean stock. Oh my.
If memory serves, I believe that was 0 to 130, just one-sided the entire way.
I think it was. And it's, again, you see what I was talking about, where he keeps hitting Giga off stage in such a way where he gets a lot of percent, leaves Giga in a really bad spot, and he gets back first, gets all his jumps, and he can do it again. So really, really just effortless rinse repeating from Kusi.
And it's such a tough break because that really felt like almost a perfect game plan from Giga in Game 2.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it had been perfect, they would have won. But like the way this has gone so.
Oh no.
The way that it had gone so far was that's kind of the best we had seen them play in the matchup. And now with that, I mean, it was hard enough as it was with 3 stocks to 3. Losing an early stock like that is going to take a hell of a hill to climb for Giga.
Absolutely, but that's one way to start climbing that hill. What a great... what was that, wall jump dare?
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Deep in the blast zone too, no fear.
You can tell that Giga has just mastered his character. He knew that he was going to be able to live that spike. Because that's kind of a dare that notoriously kills the user more often than not, too.
I was just thinking, I was like, man, if Kusi had managed to air dodge and kind of around it, that's going to be another stock. That probably would have been a second SD from Giga. But now, down to their last tournament stock. Let's see what they are made of here.
Yeah, man, getting Kusi in the loser's bracket like this is just, it is a rough draw. And exactly because of that, he just hit the Schmeat live on stream.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, 3-0. Yeah, he ended it with a Schmeat, and it was a 3-0. Doing Bigger Michael proud.
Dirty, dirty, dirty.
Oh, man. It was looking so good until it wasn't.
Shout out to the retired king.
Yeah. We salute him.
So now, after a hell of a showing from loser's bracket, Kusi, we switch over to the winner's side. We see him behind us, getting warmed up, moving towards the stream, set it himself, Mr. Alex Stroll, Mr. Cake Assault, Mr. #1 seed.